Okay, this is the Reverend Zachariah Jackson from the Church of What's Happening Now. You know, it's that time again with people running for office, and I'm in Plainfield, New Jersey. You know, I often call the name of Plainfield a suburban city, you know, and it's a beautiful city. When we talk about Plainfield, we like to describe it as a town, but it's a city. And, you know, in a few days, the 3rd, which is, that'll be next Tuesday, it's time again to go to the booth and choose who you want to represent your city. I'm here with Darlene McWilliams, the former First Lady. We're going to talk about Gloria Taylor, who is actually going to be running for third ward Councilwoman. Now, she was appointed in January, okay. And I guess what the people want to know, she spoke highly of you. And both of you guys are former
First Ladies. I speak highly of her.
Yeah, both of you guys are former First Ladies. I feel like, you know, like I'm with Michelle Obama or something, you know. And everything, I'm here recently, I've been surrounded around so many First Ladies in church and every other place. But Tuesday is that day, you know, that you go to that poll and you pull who you want to represent. And from you, why do you think Gloria Taylor should represent the 3rd ward?
Well, I can't actually vote in the 3rd ward. I live in the 2nd ward.
Okay.
So I can't vote in the 3rd ward. And, you know, I didn't want to tell the people who they should vote for.
Okay.
That's not what I really want to do here today.
Okay.
But I would like to talk about Gloria as my friend.
Sure.
And how Gloria is an unlikely friend. She and I told her one day, we were talking about how we came to meet, because when our husbands were alive, both of our husbands are deceased.
Yes, I didn't want to mention.
Both of our husbands were mayors. And of course, I don't remember Rick as mayor, but I had heard of Rick, and they didn't really run the city in the same way. They had two different perspectives. They came from two different backgrounds, and they had two different approaches. And Gloria has often said that they hated each other, but I don't think that they hated each other. They didn't see eye to eye.
I think they had two different styles.
They had two different styles, exactly. But I think that what's amazing about our Gloria is how she has been very open to receiving me, and likewise. We are what I call unlikely friends.
Sure.
And what I've come to understand about Gloria is that she's passionate about people. And you know, you can't lead a city without, or you can't lead anything without caring about the very people that you serve.
Sure.
But the thing that I think that is important is that for the city, I would hope that people of the city would start to look at things different in our town. About, you know, sometimes you vote for somebody that you wouldn't ordinarily vote for, you know, but you want to give them a chance. You should give them a chance.
You being a former First Lady, how many terms did your husband serve?
Two terms.
So you 2 terms, like just like Michelle Obama.
Just like Michelle Obama.
Just like Michelle
not
Obama.
quite like Michelle Obama.
2 terms. But you know, I always say this right here. There's a emotional side, and then there's the intellectual side. And when you heard Bill Clinton say that, you know, after the 2nd term, you really got it. You know what I mean? The first term, you know, it's like all emotion. It got you in, and you're going to do these things. But 2nd term is like almost, I don't want to say you kind of downhill, but you kind of know what you can do and what you will do. You being a 2-term First Lady in Plainfield and associating with Gloria Taylor, you know a little bit about politics. You know, imagine a lot about politics. You know how it's run. Because I mean, if you're married to somebody, of course, they will come on and you got to vent somewhere. You know.
Of course, that's right.
So, what do you think that, and from your short association with Gloria, because it's not really that long, right?
Well, we've been knowing each other for, I would say now it's been maybe 4 years.
Okay.
My daughter Annie is the reason that Gloria and I met.
So you didn't meet before that?
No, we had never met. While they were in office, or we just had never our paths had never crossed. And so, but when we finally did meet, what I learned was that you never know where your healing is going to come from.
Sure.
Because God is like that.
Sure.
His ways aren't our ways. You know that better than I do as a pastor and minister.
That's right.
And so our friendships sometimes will come from a place where you never imagined.
Right.
Our healing will come from a place you never imagined.
Sure.
So with that being said, I think it's important for the people of our community to realize and to accept that we should be looking for healing of a community. And that's what Gloria wants to do, and that's what I want to do. We have a radio show together.
Okay, and will you explain to the public?
A little bit about our show.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that's where a great deal of your bond come from after.
Yeah,
after the show.
a lot of our bonding has come from that. But the purpose is called Leading Ladies, Healing Hurting Hearts.
Leading Ladies. Okay.
Leading Ladies.
Now, why did y'all choose that name?
It's sort of, I guess from our backgrounds as having been in leadership positions by default, your husband's leading, you're sort of leading from the back. And we think that every woman in her household, regardless of who she is a leader.
Sure.
And so it wasn't so much about us being first ladies as much as in understanding the role of women in the community. And that a lot of healing, that we need healing, and a lot of the healing can come from, not just the politicians, not just from the ministers, but often can come from the women who are leading families.
Sure.
Leading in the community in that way.
Sure.
So, yes, our background, the background of Gloria and I meeting happened when my daughter introduced us.
Oh, okay.
And we just discovered that we do have a lot in common.
Sure.
A lot of it is mostly God-based,
Okay.
our faith-based.
Yes.
The main reason that I think that we've become very close friends. We sort of look at things differently. We're not looking at, I don't think Gloria, and I don't want to speak for her, but from many conversations with her, she really desires to unite the community and bring healing to the community. And I think it's very important.
But we talk in terms of healing and things of that nature, but a lot of it, I imagine, is sickness. The people that watch this would be thinking is that, hey, I need healing, but I need a job. I don't want to lose my house. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you see that? Do you see commerce coming to this city? You've been here quite some time.
Well, I'm a realtor.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, so I've seen a lot.
Okay.
I've seen the economy at its absolute worst, and there's a saying that when some towns sneeze,
Right.
Plainfield has a cold.
Okay.
I would like to say when other towns in the community have a sneeze attack, we have the flu. So yes, I see commerce coming to our town.
Because this is Plainfield, outside of the little things that go on, is actually a beautiful town.
It's a beautiful town.
And I'm not saying this right here because I owned a house here, 2 houses here, years ago. But out of all the towns that surround Plainfield, you get the most land here. You get the
most bang for the buck.
Yeah, without
You get the most bang for the buck. Yeah, well, we are a beautiful community. We have beautiful people, and our housing stock is without a doubt number one.
Sure.
In addition to that, we have 2 train stations. Most communities don't have the 2 train stops.
Yes.
So.
And they were working on a third.
And yes.
We don't know when it's going to go.
Well, and I think the 1-seat ride is going to make a difference. But I think that.
Now, what is the 1-seat ride?
Well, the 1-seat ride is, in the state of New Jersey, we have several rail lines.
Okay.
We have several lines, Northeast Corridor.
Sure.
And we're on the Raritan Valley. I think
Right.
there are 5 total.
Okay.
We're Raritan Valley. On the Raritan Valley line, we're the only one without straight destination into the city.
Oh.
So you have to get to Newark and change. You got to go all the way down and get onto another train to be able to go into the city through the tunnel.
Right.
But there's a way, I think they've started it already, where you can actually get onto Netherwood Station or the downtown, the Plainfield Station, anyone along the Raritan Valley line, and go straight into the city.
Wow,
because
that's gonna be nice. Yes.
dual engine trains.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll switch over from diesel
to
electric in order to get you through.
Okay.
So with that being said, that's going to be a big game changer for Plainfield.
Wow, that will be.
And our diversity is a very important thing.
Yes.
People like living in a community that's diverse. I have a lot of my buyers will come from Hoboken, Jersey City, New York, Brooklyn. They're accustomed to diversity.
Sure.
And they're attracted to it, so they want to be here. So we have that to offer as well.
Okay.
We've got to start thinking and talking more positively about our town.
Sure. Well, I'll say this way. It's a, I think that Plainfield is a beautiful town, and I just think that it's not getting the credit that it deserves. When you have a town that when people don't feel that they're getting their fair share, it goes back to politics.
We have to keep going back to politics.
We got to keep going back to that, the policy, and they feel that, I think that people are looking for people that's going to represent them, that's not going to sell the town. A lot of people feel very insecure here that the town is being sold from under them and things of that nature. And I guess what people want to know about Gloria, from the time that you spend, and then you guys have a radio show together also, is what do you feel that would be the areas in which that she could do the most to help the town and the people of this great city?
Well, I don't know Gloria as a leader. I don't know her as a politician. I think her time on the council has been very short.
Sure.
And quite frankly, I haven't paid a lot of attention to all of that.
Okay.
But I can speak to her character.
Sure.
As someone who has been very kind to me.
Okay.
Very open with me about, sharing it with me, the pain that she's gone through as a widow. And she's prayed with me.
Sure.
She's sat and talked with me when I didn't really know which way was up, and vice versa.
Sure.
I've done the same with her. I've been able to talk with her, to speak with her. And so as a result of being able to sit and talk with this woman, I've learned a lot about her character.
Sure.
I think she's passionate about the community. She's passionate about people.
And
she wants to make a difference. She's an educator.
Yeah.
She cares about children.
Sure.
I think that there's a saying in real estate, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Okay.
And I think that's true about life. Sure, certainly you want your politicians to know something about, a thing or two about policy and that kind of thing. But can we get along with each other?
Sure.
Can we be different in our thinking? Can we have different approaches, yet know when we need to come together?
Sure.
I think that it would be wonderful to have someone on the council who is able to be a consensus builder. When my husband was mayor, his main thing was not to create a new party. He wasn't trying to create a new party. He was trying to figure out a way, how can we bring consensus? How can we build things together? I'm a mother of 5 children. Not one of those kids thinks like the other one all the time. Sure. Sometimes one thinks this way, the another thinks. So it's my job as a parent to make sure that we're able to sit down and talk and think things through and figure things out and get from one place to another. To be stuck all the time it's like being sick.
Sure.
You know, when you are not able to move forward in anything in your job, in your family life, in your love life, whatever it is, when you're stuck, it's not a happy place to be. And I feel that in our community, we've been stuck for 30 or more years. I don't know how many years. I've only lived here about 30 years.
I remember years ago meeting with your husband and a few other community people about this Weston project.
Okay.
And that's why I came up with the train station, because my house was on 664 South 2nd Street.
Okay.
And I never knew why that was South 2nd. Everything else was West. You know, but then I figured out it was actually South because it was west. It was south of West 2nd Street. So you got to go under the bridge and then that's South 2nd Street, whatever it was. It was quite a journey down there. But the train came behind my house. Okay. And they were talking about redeveloping that area. And so I met with your husband many times. He would come down to. In fact, we met a lot at Reverend Brown Church, the Roof Fellowship. Oh, really? Yeah, in that basement right down here. A lot of meetings, and I think the Rutgers people came in. Rutgers University people came in. So we were. Everybody was trying to do something, but I guess where we need to go back to is Gloria. You've sat with her.
I've sat with her.
You prayed with her. You talked with her. I'm sure you guys have shared tears and things of that nature.
Oh, we cried together. Yes.
Things like that. Why do you think that they chose her to fill the seat in January, and to take her out of private life? And why do you think they did that?
I'm really not sure. I can't really speak to that. But what I can speak to is the value of loss.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is Gloria suffered one of the greatest losses of her life in losing her wonderful husband.
Yes.
I can identify with it. I lost my best friend, the love of my life, and someone that I know who cared about the community and wanted to make a difference. And when you lose something so great, you have a whole different perspective on the way things should be.
How are you doing now?
Right now, how am I doing? Good question. It's been 7 years.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years. I'm doing far better than I ever imagined I would do. There was a point when I tell the story, and I shared this on Harvest Radio, that I was a high-functioning, depressed woman. I could get up, do what I had to do, function very well, and go home and be very, very depressed.
Sure.
But
that's, some people say it's kind of like natural.
It is a big part of that process of healing.
Yes.
But I want to get back to this whole thing. I know what it means to be sick, to be hurting. Sure. Gloria knows what it means to be sick, wounded, hurting. And I believe that she wants to make a difference from that perspective.
Sure.
I think that's important. I'm not saying that her opponent can't do it. They are people that we know. My daughter's friends with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
So I can't say anything negative about anybody. But what I can say about Gloria is that she has the ability to do something very important, and that is to sit with people that she may not agree with.
She has that character, yes.
I think she has that character. I think that's important.
Well, when she was at the NACP candidate forum about 2 weeks ago, I thought she represented herself very, very well. I mean, she came across as someone that could continue in politics, and I think that what people are looking for today, they're not looking for the traditional person that's been bred in. They're looking for someone that can come in and really offer change. And I think that that's really what she's going to do.
You know, people want hope. They want to continue to be able to feel that there's an opportunity for them, that there's a chance for them. You know, one thing that I remember my husband saying, and this was towards the end of his life, and he was saying that, he said, you know, Link, he called me Link. I don't know why he called me Link, but he would say, you know, you just read this scripture. He said, you know, there's something in the Bible that says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Wow.
Now,
that's deep.
yes. Now he was not.
That's deep.
Yeah, that's
deep.
pretty deep.
Yes,
That's a wonderful passage in the Bible.
Wonderful.
And I don't think, and I know because we did discuss it. He wasn't talking about financial legacy. He was talking about a legacy of integrity.
Sure.
Of joy, of peace. You know, why do we have to struggle all the time? You know, we should not have to struggle all the time.
Sure.
In this town, there's been a lot of struggle. And I think that it's very possible that our hopes and our dreams and our legacy that we should leave our children can come from people who are unlikely friends.
Yes.
People who may not look like us,
Sure.
may not walk like us,
Sure.
may not talk like us. I think we need to learn to be more open and willing to sit with people who may have a different opinion, but sit with them with the idea and the hope that we can come to some agreement.
Well, I think that's what the nation is headed towards now, you know, because America goes through many journeys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we went through where we put people in office because of the money they came from, or because of how we thought that they were raised.
Or they looked like a
Or they
president.
look like a
Or they-
president.
Yes.
Right.
What does the president look like?
Right, exactly.
Yes,
You know,
right.
but I think, you know, the United States, I've traveled the world, and I always come back with a strong faith in the United States because, say what you want to say, we've been there, done that.
Yes,
We've
absolutely.
been there, done that.
Absolutely.
And you know, with that comes a great deal of confidence. You know, when you reach out and you go places and you see people doing things, you know, we've done that before.
That's right.
So I think that today people are saying, we've been there and done that. We've been there, done that. Let's do something different. And I think that Gloria is something different. So I hope that on that day, June 3rd, that you wrote, I believe it's line A. Is it line A? You're not
I'm
sure?
not certain.
Well, fine, Gloria's line. I believe it's line A. And vote for Gloria Taylor. I think that the community really enriched themselves when they chose to allow her to finish out the seat of the former council person of the 3rd Ward. So I think that with that right there, I just want to say thank you.
My
It was
pleasure.
nice
Thank
to
you.
be here with you.
Thank you so
And-
much. God bless you.
God bless you too. Again, I am the American Reverend Zachariah Jackson from the Church. I was happy.